And welcome back aboard Blur Force One with your boy Mo and your girl Polly. And this is the Supercast. The Supercast where we talk about all things superhero in our pop culture media. That's movies, TV shows, video games, comics. We talk about the news, do some speculation, all that good nerdy stuff. And before we get into the podcast today, you know what to do. Get down there and hit like on this video. So, welcome back everybody to the Supercast. Yes, we're fine. Everything is fine. Last week we just kind of took the time off. Polly had something she had to take care of, and to be quite honest, I was exhausted by real life things. And
Same,
also,
same.
and the other thing is that I didn't want to talk about Lanterns and the Boys trailers without Polly. So like, yeah, y'all be all right. Y'all waited. Y'all had some time off. You could go look at all the nerdy stuff that was going on, and we're gonna talk about all that stuff today. But you know what, Polly, we missed you last week. Glad to see you back, and we're ready to talk about the nerdy stuff. What you been up to?
Oh yeah, I've been up to some nerdy stuff indeed. I did watch, well, not exactly nerdy, but I did watch the newest season of Bridgerton
Mm,
finally, which I was gonna do before, but I was gonna wait till it fully comes out,
right.
like I usually do. So yeah, I did that, and it was fun. I really enjoyed the season. It was, in my opinion, it was better than the previous one or the one before that, but that's my subjective opinion. So, yeah, really loved it. I did read some comics. I did watch some movies and some shows. Like, as you've seen, what else is? Oh, of course, I played Marvel Rivals. Where would I be without it? Yeah. Uh, Lost some, won some. You know how it is.
Yeah.
It ain't easy.
Yeah. How you doing with your Black Panther?
Uh, Not well, not well. I did not figure out how to set up a stream yet, and my Black Panther was well, has been called the worst panther they've ever seen by random people on the internet. Thanks for being so nice. And I think I told them to fuck off, but like politely. Uh, so yeah, it's not going well. It's really hard. It's one of the hardest characters in my opinion. I'm not as fast as most people, and well, you know.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
But I don't mean.
Yeah, I think you got to get it together because yeah, you're representing Wakanda. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah. No, Wakanda will be fine. You know, it doesn't matter if they have a terrible Black Panther. Still, the country's
I
thriving.
mean,
Everything's great. So.
I mean, hear some people tell that they've always had a terrible Black Panther. So, I mean, all right, well, that's cool. I'm glad you got to do some nerdy stuff. Look, folks, I keep telling y'all it's springtime here in Florida, even though we're getting one last cold snap because reasons. You would think in Florida we never have this problem, but no, I have it all every year. But we had one last cold snap, but it's springtime, so I'm you know outside touching grass as you put in one of your posts earlier this week. By
Yeah,
the way, I thought that was very cool. Like I love the outside and garden and stuff. So
I
that's what I'm
do
doing.
enjoy. Like today I opened the window and uh, obviously my window
Hmm.
opens right into the garden, and I opened the window and the smell came in. And it's so magnificent. Like all these flowers smell so nice, and it's spring. It's really spring.
That's part of the
I
reason
was
you.
outside
Yeah.
in my pajamas, and in St. Petersburg, you're never outside in your pajamas in March. It's still snow there.
No.
People wearing coats and stuff like that. I'm enjoying it so
Right.
much.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the great things about moving to the suburbs too. So,
And the South.
yes. So it's,
Well, not in America, though.
well, here it's hot. It's been hot. It's,
American South, no.
it's,
Mm-mm.
well, that's one
Thanks.
of the great things about living in the southeast of the United States. It's quite warm most of the year. It's very hot actually, some parts of the year, but it's very warm even during the coldest parts of the year. So yeah, I've been mostly touching grass, but did watch a few things over the last couple of weeks. I caught um, well for the first time. Y'all won't believe me, but it's true. I finally watched Twilight. I've been avoiding that movie for 20
Which
almost
one?
20, the first one. For I've been
Oh,
avoiding
just the
that
first
movie.
one. You have more to go.
Oh, I know. I've been
You know,
I
it's
literally avoided it for 20 years because of the sparkly vampire shit, and
understand.
but my daughter was like, "We're watching Twilight," and I was like,
You know
"Fine."
what? It's not great. It's not the greatest story. It's not the greatest movie, but sometimes it comes at a time when like it's a comfort thing. It's just something you can watch without like overextending yourself, without feeling stressed or worried.
Mm.
Just something you can watch and enjoy because it's silly after all. And I do have all Twilight books in like this year. This year, they released an anniversary edition, which is really pretty. And
Hmm.
I decided, you know what, I need them. So yeah, I never read this book in English though.
Oh, okay.
I've read the Russian translation and it was okay. So I was very confused when people started telling me that, it's terribly written. So
Well, it's I look, I thought the movie was whatever. It was kind of whatever to me. Some of it was cool. Mostly
fun.
mostly the issue I had, well, I think is the directing's not good. And I think the
Oh,
cinematography is
I
not
disagree.
and
I
I think
disagree.
I think it has its moments, but some of the directing is not that good. But I think the cinematography is it's I had a similar problem with the cinematography as I did with Iron Man with the first Thor, which was Dutch angles for no damn reason. I fucking hate
Mm.
that. I hate random ass Dutch angles. Also, it feels like I'm watching a CW TV show at times. It also feels.
It was a very cheap movie, and like it was I like the style of it. I
Mhm.
really like that the style was a little bit campy and a little bit like unprofessional at
It's
times.
very much so.
But I like that.
The whole baseballs. You know what? It's very endemic of like the special effects of the time because it made me think of like how kind of weirdly floaty the physics are in like the Fantastic Four movies and like the Blade movie, not even Blade, like Blade Trinity. There's a lot of weird floaty ass physics. It's like it's not
But
good. Um,
they make up for it in the makeup because they I think that I feel like they used actual flour to decorate their face. They're
er,
so weirdly pale and very very like up to the neck, and
right.
then the neck is normal.
It is very interesting. That said, I did get some enjoyment out of it. I look once I dialed into the fact like I told my daughter I was like this is basic white girl fantasy. Like that's what it is. I'm a basic
Yeah.
ass white girl, but Prince Charming is gonna like pick me out of like all of the other girls. And it, so I was like, no wonder this was so big. If because Kristen Stewart's character Bella is every basic ass white girl that's ever existed
Oh
In the
yeah,
United
you know
States.
what?
She's
She's worse. She's worse than most because like you can be basic, you still have something. She's absolutely inert. Like she doesn't do anything. She
she's a
doesn't.
self insert character. That's all she is. She's a self insert character for
Oh no, those are usually opinionated and they like insert themselves into every
Oh,
situation.
I'm
She does
sorry.
not. She
I
just
think
doesn't
I,
exist. You can take her out of the story.
I,
Nothing will change.
I
She's
think
like
I
a
meant
log.
it. I think when I say self-insert character, because like another thing I told her, I was like, "Oh, Twilight is this. This is like if a conservative more because Stephen Meyer is Mormon as well, right?
Mm.
But it's like imagine what a conservative Mormon woman would want to have as like my first Harlequin romance. So it's Harlequin romance story told by a conservative Mormon person, woman. And so that's exactly what you get. The shit is chaste as hell. Like
But vampires.
how you have how you got a vampire, crushing on this girl, and they're in her bedroom, and nothing happens, and I'm like, I'm sorry,
Well, you know
I
what?
no.
You have to like for the next movies because you are definitely gonna have to watch the next movies.
Hmm.
I understand that this is gonna happen whether you want it or not, and nobody wants it. But happens to everybody. I went to the premiere, by the way. The rest of like the first one I missed in the theater. Then my friend showed it to me. Then she gave me the books. Then I read the books, and then I went to every premiere after that. At some point, I think it was the second movie. It was a midnight premiere, and we were sitting in the movie theater, and the girl next to me, she was shaking every time somebody some of her favorite, any of her favorite characters showed up on screen. She was shaking and like ready to scream. And I thought, wow, this is like big fangirl behavior. And then I went to the Star Wars premiere, and a guy sitting next to me did the same thing. So you know what? I know what's up.
I
But for the next parts, though, you have to really remember to look at the weirder stuff, because it's funny when you start pointing out to yourself the all of the like toxic bullshit that they do to each other, everyone, and the weird stalkerish
Mhm.
behavior. Like, why the hell are you in this girl's bedroom? I know why, because like that's how Buffy the Vampire Slayer did it. Only she like actually did it. But
Us.
in general, yeah, it's a lot is lifted from Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel, and Stephanie Meyer can try to deny it, but you know what? We'll see through it.
It's
Uh,
yeah, I think look, it's fine. It's fine. I don't think it's a good I personally don't think it's a good movie, but
it's not a great story, okay?
it's got its moments, but I do understand why it became big and why Pattinson and Kristen Stewart are big, hella rich because of it. Like I get it. Look, if you can get average white girl in America obsessed with something, you got money in your pocket. So, I watched something else, and I watched Piece by Piece, which is the kind of the Lego documentary about Pharrell Williams.
Oh, I thought
It's
about Legos.
it's on Netflix. Pharrell Williams, one half of the Neptunes, famous producer,
Hmm.
fashion person, so and so, and they're so it's basically talking about him growing up and becoming a mega star and all that other stuff. But it's told with Legos, like the Lego movie style. It's a great 90-minute documentary. It's awesome looking. Um, who knew that doing something in Lego would be such a great artistic choice? But it is. Just trust me. This would not have been as interesting if it wasn't Lego. Like I'm so serious. There are things they do with the Lego like motif that they couldn't have done in live action. So I think it's really good if you're like a millennial, or if you're Gen X or millennial. I'm pretty sure this is for you. Everybody else, you might be like, oh, that's that old song that people used to that
That's that
my
old
dad used
guy
to like. Yeah,
with the hat.
but it's actually really cool. I recommend everybody to watch it. So other than that, I really didn't watch anything else this week. I tried reading some comics, but like I only read one issue, and I'm not going to talk about that. But I do have something else we got to do. You know what it is? It's nerding on a budget.
Yay!
Which is funny because I ain't supposed to be doing any nerding on a budget. I'm not supposed to be buying stuff, but I can't help it. I decided to take myself to Ross and see what maybe they got something. I think it's because I saw on somebody. I think somebody on Threads was like, "I got some cool stuff from Ross," and I was like, "Hey, I want that for me too." So I took myself over to the closest one to my job and found some cool stuff. I post about it on Threads, but I'll show y'all here. I got Ahsoka Tano. Yeah, so she's gonna. I actually have quite a few Ahsoka. I think I have like three of them now. So I think I paid $11 for this. Normally, I don't like to pay that much for one of those from Ross, but I really wanted the Ahsoka, so I got it. Now this is a good one. I got the Iron Man Model O1 Gold.
Wow.
This was $8 from Ross. So I already have the Iron Man model. I want to say 3, which is the red and gold one. Um, so I got right now. I got
This is
like
cool.
yeah, it's very cool.
So retro.
I'm never taking this out of this package. I
Mwah.
love. I keep telling y'all be like, why don't you take them out? I actually love the packaging. This reminds me of when I was like 12, 13 years old and they were putting out the X-Men. They were putting out, I was it Kenner or something was putting out X-Men. Uh, was it figures? I really love those. So I love the packaging, and I'm not taking it out. I'm just gonna hang it up like I do back there. Also, this is something, and I didn't post this. I got this little guy. Let me see if I can get him without a glare. I got this little guy for $10 from Amazon. This is not an action figure; it's a
Cute.
statue. And I still might buy the full size version of it, but it was $10. I really like them. Little baby kaiju. So that's all my nerding on a budget for the week. I'm still look. You guys check Amazon. They have cool little deals every now and then, and just start. I
Cool
like
little
I'll
capitalist empire.
look. There are my connection for plastic
No, I get it.
pop figure toys that come from are manufactured in Asia. I don't know what to do. So anyway, you guys keep an eye out for your for different kind of deals like that. Share it with us. So that takes us to we're gonna do Polly's comics, and we also have a lot of we got a lot of news to talk about this week. Let's jump into Polly's comics. So we got know that Polly has issues, and
Oh
also
yeah.
she talks about comic books. So this is our segment where she gets to talk about what she's been reading this week. So Polly, what you been reading?
Interestingly enough, finally I did get some time like to actually read the new comics, and the first was this is not even a contest. The first one was Moonstar #1. One of my favorite characters, Danny Moonstar, finally got her own like mini series, obviously, but still it does pick up right after the events of Magic's book. If you know, I talked about it. It was again a mini run focused on magic and her like magical journey, stuff like that. And Danny showed up there at the end to help out with the big final battle. But in this particular story, it kind of focused is focused around an Asgard relic. And since people forgot about Asgard on one side, and on the other side, she used to belong to this order, which is like a little bit creepy, but it was supposed to defend worlds or the world against apocalyptic events. So, but the order fell apart, and like two guys from that order who she used to work with, they show up and they ask her to help with this particular problem because she's an expert on Asgard and stuff like that, because she used to be a Valkyrie. So this story is about that, and it's quite interesting. It's not exactly what I expected because, well, I understand on one side that both Asgardian part of the story, of her story, and the magical part of her story are very interesting and not very developed. So there's a lot to play around with, but I don't quite understand. I don't think that this is the kind of story that I wanted to see necessarily about Danny. There's a lot more to say about her, in my opinion. But you know what? We get what we get, so better enjoy it. And the second thing that I didn't quite like is I don't quite understand Danny's characterization in the story, because she is. Well, this is the badass character who stayed with the X-Men after she lost her powers, who used to be a Valkyrie, who used to be the leader of New Mutants,
Mm-hmm.
even without her powers. So mm, uh, it's kind of like she's acting in this particular issue. At times, she's acting a little bit childish, which is, yeah, it's okay to experience emotions, but I don't think she would experience them like that. So it's a little bit confusing. It takes getting used to. It's a little bit out of continuity, but you know what? Mm, feel I'm going to give it a chance. It does sound like something I might enjoy. In the end, we'll see where it goes. The premise is really very interesting, very exciting, and it's kind of like this detective story built around this relic and potential apocalyptic event.
Mm. Okay.
So another issue I read, it was X-Men 26. Well, actually it was 25 and 26. I was catching up. So it's still I really enjoy McKay's take on the X-Men. It's kind of like this classic team book. And the further we get, the more it starts to remind me of the original X-Men, like not the original five, but like the best years of the X-Men. They deal with a lot. Of course, they deal with a lot. Right now, they are looking for the police officer from Alaska, like from Anchorage. And they're dealing with like a lot of stuff. Of course, the government from one side, like the one, and from the other side, all of the enemies, stuff like that, hatred, bigotry, all of that. But in between that, they all still get their personal moments, which is what makes the team work and makes this book work. So I'm really enjoying that. I really recommending that to everyone. I think that's going to be a great read once it fully comes out, and hopefully I'm gonna reread it, because it does feel like something that would be much more enjoyable as a whole thing as a binge read. And of course, the thing I could not have missed anyway, very important in my opinion, book, X-Men United #1. Uh, this particular book is kind of like the idea and the concept is returning to school, building a
Mm.
school for mutants, for yeah. And it's a great first issue. The only problem I think I have with it is that the school is not a physical thing. It's not a physical school where students actually uh, live. It's kind of like this mental telepathic space. From what I understood, I could have misunderstood something, but it's like telepathic space built by Emma and Axa, who's one of the kids from the Exceptional X-Men. And for some reason, the kids from Exceptional X-Men are they're not tutors, but like the student advisors, even though they had like 5 minutes of experience. For some reason, Scott Summers is very much against it. For some reason, Kitty Pryde is supporting it. Uh, Emma is running the school, which makes sense. That's what she does. So yeah, it is interesting. It has potential, but it's trying to recapture the style of academics, which I love, and I love
Yeah.
that book. But at the same time, it's failing in like small details. Like it doesn't right away slow down to maybe introduce the characters a little better, introduce the dynamic between them, because what academics did really well is focus on on the students, on the new characters, on the kids in this book, and build the relationships between them right away. And again, I feel like in newer comics we tend to like not do that. So
Hmm.
that's a bit of an issue for me. But well, we'll see where it goes. It's just one issue, and we've established how it works and what is it going to be. So I think that it has potential. I hope that it does grow into like something bigger. I'm maybe like contemplating actually waiting for it to come out fully, or like if it's going to be an ongoing, waiting for at least several arcs to come out. Because again, binging is the way to read.
Yeah.
But either way, I'm excited. I'm just excited for the school, and I hope that they can like make this school in the real world. Which, if it's at all in the plans, I'd love to see that. So this is all I've read, but once again, I haven't had time to read this yet, but I do remember that like the issue 2 of Magic and Colossus came out, I think, this week, and this is also a great book. I talked about it the last time, and I do recommend that one too. So
All right. That sounds good. One day in the next 10 years, I'll read some of this stuff. So,
maybe, probably.
excuse me. It's boy, it's hard to sit me in front of the computer to read stuff now. But every now and then I'll get the fever for it. So, all
That's
right.
yeah, it's better to read on a tablet or on your phone if you
Uh,
can.
oh, I hate reading it on my phone though. It's just so small. I
Yeah,
I
I
gotta
read
get
from a tablet and that's
yeah. But you guys go check out these issues and get down to the comment section and let us know what you think about them. So, well, you know what that means. It leads us to our whoops, I haven't gotten to that yet. It leads us to our next thing, which is going to be our news. We got a bunch of things going on this week. Uh, I wanted to start us off with a general discussion about how dope it is going to be to be a superhero TV fan over the next few weeks, y'all. I didn't realize it until at the beginning of this week we got a bumper crop of things coming that we are very excited about. Also, we're going to talk about some things like this. Idris Elba, or shall I say, Sir Idris Elba. That's right. Our guy gets knighted. Heimdall gets knighted. Hugh Jackman shows us who he really is and why we need a new Wolverine for real though. The one of the creator of Wonder Man talks about how close we got to not getting the show at all. We're also going to talk about Marvel Studios talking about the 60th anniversary of Black Panther and a new issue of a comic book that's coming out about it. Marvel Rivals is cashing in on the Avengers Doomsday thing. James Gunn, does he have a future at DC Studios now that Paramount is taking over? Then we're going to talk about The Boys season 5 trailer and the Lanterns trailer that no one had any problems with at all on the internet. So, all right, Polly, it's a lot of stuff. You ready to get into this?
um,
All right, well, let's do this. Uh, so, let's do a quick discussion. The superhero spring is here. We said, remember last year it was superhero summer, then it was like the superhero fall, and then winter. We're in the
it
superhero
was full
spring.
of the heroes. I insist on that.
Yeah, it was. Look, every quarter seems to be full of stuff, but I noticed that actually the next few weeks are gonna be slam packed full of superhero goodness. And it starts off with Invincible season 4 dropping next week. And if it's like all of the other seasons, it's going to drop like 2 or 3 episodes and then we're going to get a week to week, right? So we got Invincible next week. Then the week after that, we have Daredevil Born Again season 2 premieres, which I'm gonna assume we'll get 1 or 2 episodes, and then it'll be week to week. It might just be 1 episode. Who knows? I haven't looked at the release schedule, but I'm assuming at least between 1 and 3 episodes, and then we get a week to week. And then the week after that, we get The Boys season 5, which is probably also going to premiere with at least 1 to 3 episodes, and then week to week. So Invincible season 4 is going to be 8 episodes, right? So we can imagine 3 episodes, so 6 weeks total between them. Then Daredevil Born Again season 2 is 9 episodes, and so it could be at least it could be between 7 to 9 weeks total for that. And then in The Boys season 5 is 8 episodes, and assuming they drop 3 at once, and then the rest after that, we're talking about 6 weeks total. So we're going to be watching superhero stuff well into May, right? And we're going to get like season finales that are dropping on the same day, same week as like while the other ones are running. This is an embarrassment of riches, and I wanted to just call everyone's attention to the fact that how do we deserve this? How do we deserve to get? Because I think all 3 of them are going to be. They're all going to be bangers. Let's just call it. Let's call it right now. They're all going to be bangers. These are some of the top superhero TV shows in existence. Highly anticipated for all 3 of them. And remember, every single one of them, their last season where they left off was so dire and the stakes were so fucking high right? That like, and we know like the next seasons are gonna be crazy. I'm hella excited. How you feeling? Like, did you like did it kind of occur to you like we were gonna get all this at the same time?
Well, yeah, since it was announced. But in general, I'm most excited for Daredevil. Of course, I still haven't, caught up on the Invincible season. What was it, 3?
Three.
Still kind of, yes, missed a lot in there, and I feel like if I wanted to pick it up, I will have to rewatch everything, and then maybe I will just. Is 4 gonna be the final season?
Oh, definitely not. Kirkman
Well,
Kirkman was
still,
like, I have there's 8 seasons of this. So no.
maybe I'll wait. I'll wait for it all like to come out because it's a lot. I just don't
You,
like waiting, whole year.
you're gonna wait like you're gonna
Yeah,
wait 4 more years to get this entire story.
I might. I might. You don't know. But and I'm less excited for the boys new season because like I'm already kind of tired of that story and of the bloodiness. Don't we have enough of that? But I am excited for Daredevil, and I'm definitely gonna watch the boys, and I'm gonna watch Daredevil, and I'm probably gonna watch Invincible when I get around to it. I don't know, but yeah, I guess I'm excited.
You guess you're. As I am completely caught up on all of these. Jessica Jones is coming to Daredevil, which by the way, I never finished watching that show. But I'm excited about it. Look,
But you caught up on this. Oh, come on.
I'm caught up on Daredevil Born Again season 1. So like we watched it, we watched it week to week when it was coming out. The boys I'm highly invested in. I have been since day one, since before I saw the first episode. I was invested when IJ just announced it, and I'm ready to see where they go with that. Um, it's got it's all just going to be about what's happening in the country right now. It's just with superheroes. We know that. So Daredevil in a way is pretty much the same thing. Fisk is a way more competent
Yeah.
Trump. And then Invincible is just like, oh, they're heading into the they had Invincible War in the previous season. Now they're getting ready to dive into like the Viltrumite War, or at least Viltrumite War might be a season or 2 in the future, but definitely the first stage of the Viltrumite War coming into play. And there's a ton of people that are coming. There are a ton of characters that are going to be prominent in the upcoming season. It's going to be violent and crazy. I'm really excited about that. So look. I don't know who. We don't deserve this, but we're gonna get it anyway, and I'm just gonna enjoy it while I can. Like this could be like superhero TV is kind of like holding the line, since the movies are kind of like they're trickling out right now because they're realigning and like costs and all that stuff. So I'm really happy that superheroes are very much alive and well on TV, and we're gonna check all that out. Of course, we're gonna review all these episodes when they come out. So let's talk about all that stuff then. Um,
Indeed.
our a quick bit of news: call him Sir Idris Elba. Let's put some respect on the name of Sir Idris Elba, who officially is knighted by Prince Charles. So he joins like many other actors who have become dames or sirs, or in British actors. I just wanted to give the man his flowers because, well, apparently he does charity work. Like a lot of celebrities, big celebrities do charity work, but I hear he dedicated time and money to advocate for against like knife violence in Britain, which in America it's gun violence because the guns are easily obtained, but in Britain,
In Britain,
well you
knife violence because knives are easy to obtain.
yeah, they are, and they're much easier to obtain than a gun in Britain. That's why we hear sometimes
In
about
any kitchen.
yeah. That's why we sometimes hear about people getting attacked, uh, with knives or whatever. Which and they'll be like, "Oh, they killed one person and or two people." I'm like, that's way better than if they had a gun. But the point
Well,
is
I would probably couldn't they just, do something interesting with that, like sword violence?
no swords. No, it's because you can't conceal those easily. Don't let Blade fool you.
Well, you can't.
don't
Oh,
let don't let Duncan MacLeod fool you. You can't just be carrying a katana around and nobody's gonna notice. This shit.
yeah, you can.
He's not. There's no bastard swords just like hanging on your back. That's not.
He did wear this long coat. You can easily conceal a sword in
I
that.
know. And now, to be fair, in England, wearing a trench coat, even in the summer, probably makes sense because it is England. But still, no. So he's does anti knife violence stuff, but also he's a great actor. He's been in a lot of things. So he's a sir now. I insist. No, I don't. I demand all of y'all to call him Sir Idris from now on. We sitting up here calling Ben Kingsley Sir Ben, right? So now it's Sir
I've never heard
Idris.
about that. I have never heard anyone call him Sir Ben. I always heard him be called like Ben Kingsley.
Oh well, it's not.
I know that Sir Ian McKellen. That
Yeah, if we're Sir and Sir Ian, yeah, Sir Patrick Stewart,
never heard that either.
yeah,
Mostly just hear Picard
yeah. Well,
or Charles Xavier.
well, you said Judy Dench would be like Dame Judy or Dame Maggie Smith, because they all.
Well, Dame Maggie Smith, I've heard, but Dame Judi Dench only like in press.
Well, they're. I mean, they are. They were knighted or whatever. I just look. Heimdall is now officially a knight.
Are you
So
still knighted if you're a dame?
it's the same. You're a member of the Order of the British Empire. So there are different levels of it. Uh, there's real low levels, but knighthood OBE basically is what it is. You can be a member. You can be an OBE, or male or female. You become dame if that's what you are. If you're a woman, you're dame. If you're a man, you're sir. So I just thought this was cool, and also we love Idris Elba. Someone said that now the next thing to do is make him the next James Bond.
King?
Not what he would be an
Really,
improvement,
Charles?
sure.
Yeah.
He would be an improvement, but white people would never. And two, I mean, they couldn't stand Meghan Markle, and she was nowhere near being Queen of England.
They were so scared.
But no, Idris Elba. I mean, look, I just love it. We love this for him. So call him Sir, everyone.
Oh, it's like kind of very supportive of monarchy.
Well, let's back up. I do hate monarchy. I do very much.
Isn't it like kind of supporting the whole institution?
I hate it. Look, but if we're in it, it's like kind of like how I don't love the Oscars because of how Eurocentric and white centric they are, because it's mostly full of people who don't look like us, right? And so
yeah, but we're still sitting down this week to watch it.
Oh no, we're
root for sinners.
Yeah, but the system is what it is. So let's celebrate our wins within the system, I suppose. But yeah, fuck monarchy. So let's talk about the worst Wolverine. Which we thought he was the best Wolverine. He's been the only Wolverine, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, slim pickings.
But god damn it, Hugh Jackman, I don't give a damn. You're not gonna slide by being like, oh, I'm apolitical. Shut the hell up. You can't. Being apolitical in this world is like you're just on the bad guy side. I wanted to talk about this mainly because this is a conversation that is being had, needs to be continuously had, because the ugly face or pretty face of white supremacy and white privilege is the so-called apolitical white male celebrity. He's rich, he's famous, he's got access, he's living, he's rubbing elbows with the rich and powerful. And Hugh Jackman he's Australian, right? He apparently I heard he's you know Murdoch's grandson. Maybe he may be their godfather. He's friends with the Murdochs. The only reason why I hear about all this is because he apparently performed at the birthday party of Rupert Murdoch or something like that because he's old as hell. And we're like, what the fuck for? Rupert Murdoch is one of the worst people in the world. He has Fox News and that whole Fox conglomerate and everything like that. All the shit that came out of Fox News is because of him. And so we're like, what the hell? You buddy with Rupert Murdoch? That's sus as hell. Then we find out he's friends with Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner, two of the primary cogs in the fascist regime that's going on here in America. They ain't got their way yet, but boy, they trying to. So, and also Jared Kushner is most definitely doing insider trading. Every time Trump does something, he somehow is right in the right position to make money off of it. And Ivanka Trump in the same way. And he's just like, oh, we've been friends for a long time and we just don't talk politics. Get the hell out of here. There's two ways to look at this. First of all, do you believe him when he says they don't talk politics?
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, if you were white, you could afford it too. You can afford to not talk about politics. You're white and you're rich. Yeah, hell yeah, they don't talk about politics.
Unless it's, about your money or now, and you know what? You're right.
No, it's not polite to talk about money.
I think I get what you're talking about because I've previously my I was like what I call it the mistake that keeps on giving. Uh, my ex was white, and I knew her family and everything like that. They're the same damn way. Like I knew y'all voted for Trump. I knew that, but we didn't talk about it. Not really. We didn't spend time around each other talking about this shit. And that's the kind of the thing that'll happen. They'll just be like, he's still a good guy, and I'm like, you support Trump. What are you talking about? So you Hugh Jackman, what is this the kind of person you are? This yeah, I know being a Marvel character is just a job and whatever. But is this the sort of person you are? In the world, being the state it is in, the things that the Trumps are doing, demonstrably being bad. You're an actor. You're around, as an actor, you're around, queer people. You're around people of color. You're around women. And who are all being damaged by the bullshit that the Trumps are up to. And you just be like, we just don't talk politics. He's still a good guy otherwise. As if all of that stuff isn't a reflection on who they are as people. And you can just kind of turn a blind eye to it. It is 1,000% white male privilege, where it doesn't matter whatever the bullshit they're up to. We can still, hang out at the rich people places and do rich people shit. And because it doesn't affect me. So, like, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's like, my respect for him plummeted. Now, I don't know how, am I off base here?
You know what? I do have a little, I understand how it can be very, very disproportional. It feels disproportional to American people because, but again, yeah, he's Australian. So there is like a 30% chance that he might not be not interested, but in the American politics, because that doesn't affect him in any way. Pretty much like the dude lives in another country. I mean, whatever's going on in your internal politics, probably like more interested in the stuff that's going on in Australia. At the same time, yeah, it's really hard. You have to live under a rock to not be aware of what's going on. And at the same time, I understand that he probably knew these people for a long time. It's really hard to walk away and say, like, you know what? Y'all are creepy. I'm not, I'm not friends with you anymore, especially when you make money off it. Uh, so, do I understand why he is defending himself? Yes, I do understand. At the same time, would I be able to like say that, you know what, that's okay? No, because it's still like hella creepy. Like, how can you not talk politics? How can you not understand what these people are doing and how they're directly responsible for a lot of what's going on in the world right now? And how can you just, stand and pretend that that's okay? This is weird to me. This is, like you said, yeah, it's white privilege, it's male privilege, it's ignorance at best. But I don't think that it's ignorance. I think that it's the understanding that you profit from this relationship, from this proximity to like legit power in the world. You profit from this, and this is why you're going to be defending it. Is it okay? No, it's not okay. And we like the same thing that Chris Pratt was saying that
Oh
like,
yeah.
oh, we don't talk politics. I mean, come on, you don't talk politics. What are you joking? Do you talk about your work? Their work is politics. You talk about politics. You have to talk about politics, uh, even if you can afford not to. It's
Hmm.
still not acceptable. Like,
Yeah.
of course, yeah, there are villains who like uh, that. There was a joke going around about Kim Jong Un and his daughter. Like,
Hmm.
oh, is he actually a good father? Because like his daughter seems to like him. Yeah. Also, can people can be super villains and still have close friends. And still, like we comic book readers and comic book movie viewers and show viewers, we know this better than anyone. Yes, they can be like good family people. I don't know, good to their family, good to their friends.
Hmm.
It doesn't change anything.
Exactly. Yeah. And this whole, I honestly, I not just that I don't respect that stance in the face of like of what's like pretty seriously terrible things that are going on. But I equally don't respect the we don't talk politics shit. In the way that I don't respect people that say I don't see color. Lies and motherfucking lies. That's all that is. What that really tells them, because that's code to me. We don't talk politics is I agree with them, but I don't want to mess up my bag. I'm in an industry. Well, I'm in an well, if
It's not necessarily I agree with them. It's I disagree with them, but it doesn't concern me personally
yeah,
too.
or it could be yeah, that's bad, but not you know what I'm saying. But a lot of like with Chris Pratt, the motherfucker agrees with some of that shit. Like you can tell he agrees with some of that shit. Now Hugh Jackman, he doesn't talk about it much, but I get the impression that some of the stuff he's probably fine with, or he's just like it's not, or I don't care. It's either I don't care, like if it's because if it was actually something he really had a problem with, he'd fucking bring it up. So it's probably like, oh, it doesn't affect me, or I don't know enough, or I don't care enough, or I agree with it, but I know if I say it straight out, it's going to impact the way my standing with people in Hollywood or with the public. So I'm keeping it to myself. That's what Chris Pratt does the same shit. And I think it's or he's trying to he's trying to sand off the edges of some of the shit that RFK says or does, and it's just bullshit. Like say it with your chest. That's all I'm saying. Stand on it. That's all. If you rock with the Kushners, Trumps and all that other stuff, if you rock with them, fucking get on board. There's not enough of it. Like, take the mask off. I'm tired of this, Scooby Doo shit about trying to figure out who's trustworthy and who isn't. We need to take the masks off. Be who you are and speak on it, and choose your side. But all this in the middle shit is not gonna work. So Hugh Jackman, you kind of honestly, we need a new Wolverine. We need a new Wolverine any damn way. But
We have.
like let's accelerate this and get to a new one. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see if anything comes out of this. But don't be Chris Pratt. That's all I'm saying. um, so here's another quick little thing. Did you know Wonder Man almost didn't even make it to us? Uh, and after having watched it and the recept, at least on our corner of the internet, and also we talked about how many people were watching it and everything like that. This almost didn't become a thing for us, because um, I think we mentioned it before. The show was it basically was partly produced, and then the strikes happened, and they had to finish the rest of it after. And in the process, during that time, a lot of people, studios are asking, should we keep doing this or not? And this was also coincided with remember Batgirl getting shelved for tax purposes. There's all this question about, well, should we just let's just shelve this for tax purposes? We'll get the tax write off and no one will ever see it. So Andrew Guest, who was the creator of the show, a showrunner, said that they nearly canceled it because it didn't test well. And he said, by the grace of somebody, story gods, we survived by the skin of our teeth. That's, to me, that's wild because of how nearly universal the praise for the show is, that whatever they show to the test audiences just didn't work. But I think I have a reason why that might have been the case. But I mean, what do you think? Why that about why this might have been so close to failing, and why they ultimately decided to move forward with it?
What does test audience look like?
well, they have neck beards, and they also all have YouTube channels where every thumbnail is big googly eyes and big old block letters.
But no, but seriously though, I think that I understand why people didn't necessarily connect it. Again, if you show in like episode 1 to the test audience, they probably wouldn't be as invested, and they probably wouldn't necessarily like it because they only seen one episode, and this is a thing that is should be viewed as a whole. And I think I already defended the decision by Disney to release it all at the same time. And again, this comes into play. This is a whole story, a whole arc, which is targeting like specific audience. And I do have a feeling though that it still made it to Disney Plus specifically because, like you keep saying, Hollywood does love to talk about itself. And they just wanted to get the story out. And this is one of the situations where we got incredibly lucky that they stood on this firmly, and that they decided to release it anyway. Again, I do understand why people did not necessarily feel like, from this test audience, did not necessarily feel like we need it. It doesn't have anything to do with what they expect from the MCU. It doesn't have a lot to do with the big events and the big characters. The characters didn't show up, like the main character didn't show up anywhere before that. He does not necessarily need to show up anywhere after that. But it's a very interesting story on its own, and the fact that they did not understand it, and that they probably voted like to can it. I understand why, but again, we're lucky that it didn't happen, and
Mm.
maybe this would be a good lesson to not trust necessarily test audience, to maybe be a little more hopeful about the projects that you greenlit in the first place. Hopefully, I don't hold my breath for them. I'm just hoping.
Yeah. Well, I think you're right about the test audience thing. It's expectations. I think if they see this as a Marvel thing, the first question is, how does this relate to anything that we've already seen? How's this
And also,
moving on?
what
Yeah,
famous superhero are we gonna see?
yeah. What is this? Who is it? We don't know this character. So
The cameos.
they had an uphill battle of a character who has nothing to do with any of the ongoing stories, who barely uses his powers, who there's no cameo to kind of co-sign this character being in the MCU. It's a very standalone, self-contained
Mhm.
thing. It references the MCU's going on, but that not that much. So these, if you say like we're gonna put this in front of Marvel fans and see what they say, yeah, there's gonna be confusion or just like what is this? I'm expecting pow bang pew pew, right? And I'm getting character work. I'm getting character work, and it's like a buddy comedy, and this it's not what you expect. So I get it. I get the test audience. I also want to say, I want to say Feige himself may have ultimately been the decision about whether or not this saw the light of day. And if that's true, but whoever like in that chain of command that fought for this, kudos to you guys because, God damn it, we got to break people out of this whole expectations game. And by that I mean just get how are we going to say we want the superhero genre to grow if we won't let it grow, if we won't let it be more than you know the stuff we've already seen. We got to give space for superhero projects to be as diverse as the comics, and we know most of the comics are a particular thing, but then you'll get a Moon Knight, right? Then you'll get like
Werewolf by Night.
yeah, you'll get a Werewolf by Night. You'll get,
WandaVision.
even within the comics themselves, there are some, like to me, and I know
Genre stories.
people don't like the New Mutants movie, but I liked what it was trying to do. I liked
I
what it
love
was.
that
Yeah,
movie.
I would like that movie with reshoots and a bit more polish is a great X-Men entry, and it's not doing anything like it's doing something different. It's trying other things. And Wonder Man's the same thing. It is trying to do something out of the ordinary that's not exactly like the superhero stuff you've expected, and it works in what it's doing. And I'm glad somebody or somebody's within Marvel Studios recognize that actually this needs to be seen. And
This is this reminds me of the whole conversation about how comics are they're a mixture of genres. There is not necessarily one specific genre like the superhero. It's not always the dude in like a leotard showing up to save the day. It can be different and it can afford to be different. That's what we got with the comics. We have horror, we have detective stories, we have romance, we have sci-fi, we have fantasy, we have everything, and each of this project deserves to explore all of that. So there are very many things that like dystopias and stuff like that.
mm,
Pretty much any genre can be mixed into a superhero story, and specifically into the MCU or like DCU or any other shared universe. So yeah, this is everything that we should be exploring and that we should be getting. Again, yeah, look at uh, sitcom example of WandaVision. Like this particular story, Werewolf by Night, Moon Knight,
mm-hmm.
like you
Yeah,
mentioned,
yeah.
New Mutants, Eternals, everything. There are so many stories, and Thor is pure like fantasy. Whenever things are happening, like Thor: The Dark World, it was fantasy. It was happening in Asgard, which was a very fantasy place. So yeah, there is a lot to explore, and we should do it. Fantastic Four, even, yeah, that was sci-fi futurism. So cool. We get so much,
Right.
and like I don't know, we should be more appreciative of that
Yeah.
and of the versatility that the whole superhero genre offers us.
Exactly. Yeah, we gotta break out of that little, just doing the same thing over and over again. And I love that somebody or somebody's decided this we got to do this because we got something great. And so,
And
uh,
those same people, by the way, who don't like this new stuff, those are the same people who complained at some point that Marvel movies were formulaic. This
well,
was the dog whistle then.
yeah,
Then it
it's
became writing, then it became something else. And, stop fucking complaining. Just enjoy what you get.
or just go watch something else. It's fine. Like we'll be
Yeah.
all right without you. It's fine. um, our next thing, Black Panther's 60th anniversary. They put out. I think it was it this week or next week. No, it's this week.
I
Uh,
think it's this week.
I think it's this week. They put out a 60th anniversary special, celebrating 60 years of Black Panther. Um, we should just talk about this briefly. I've not read this comic. I didn't even know it was coming out until I saw this post. Um, but it's kind of an anthology, a bunch of stories told within the Black Panther kind of I won't say mythos. That's not quite right, but you get what I'm saying.
Quote.
Um, with some of the good artists and writers that have told the stories over the years. I don't want to talk about the comics so much as I do the podcast, Marvel official podcast episode where they're talking about the 60th anniversary itself. They got Dennis Cowan, Christopher Priest was in there. I forget the lady that what her name was. That was the artist. I'm sorry. I they said their names once and I completely forgot. And also Evan Narcissus, which is he's a contributor to the podcast, but also he's a comic writer. And they were just talking about the history of the character, what it meant to them. Christopher Priest obviously did a huge amount of work on him in the late '90s. Dennis Cowan is, he drew on it and created a miniseries in the '80s. These are all, great black creators that within the industry that have been, working on the character, and just kind of hearing why they, were drawn to the character, and which was interesting to me was one of them was like, I want to say Christopher Priest was like, I don't know, I thought the character was kind of boring, or
Mm-hmm.
I think Evan Arcis was like, I didn't really vibe with the character so much because I didn't really believe like he was written by white dudes. And I've said this before about other black characters like Luke Cage, where as a black American, I'm like, I'm reading a character who's written by someone who doesn't know any black people. You know what I'm saying? All he knows about black people is what he saw on TV or whatever, or in a black exploitation movie or something, and it's really obvious. And I also think it's really obvious when a black person actually, like which is it's no disrespect to like Don McGregor who did the Jungle Action series in the '70s. No disrespect to Kirby, that was doing Black Panther, in the late '60s, early '70s. No disrespect to that. I like those stories, but it's somebody said they were like, oh, it's like Tarzan. They're doing and I'm like, it's so that's 100% on point. It's it sounds like it's exploitation, storytelling essentially, but once you got black creators on it, I think it got a lot more rich and more interesting. Like Christopher Priest's contribution to the Black Panther mythos is significant. And Reggie Hudlin wasn't on it either, but his run on Black Panther in the mid 2000s, through Civil War and all the other stuff, and the marriage of Storm and T'Challa, it's like so much happened, and in 60 years, I think the character is like even before the Black Panther movie, like in the like almost 2 decades leading up to the Black Panther between Priest run and Black Panther, they did some pretty amazing work building him to the character we know and love today. Anyway, you listen to this podcast. What thoughts? What do you take away from what they were talking about?
Well, everything that you said, yeah, pretty valid. I mean, To me, it was just interesting to hear from the writers and from the creators who contributed to the character and to what that specific world is bringing to the Marvel universe. But in general, I have not done a read through of Black Panther comics. I will eventually when y'all gonna
That's a
vote for
lot.
it. I mean, people voted for She-Hulk. I'm reading She-Hulk slowly, but like surely. Uh, so yeah, I haven't done a reread. I've only read some stories. I have some books like the Nation Under Our Feet, stuff like that. But obviously, it's very interesting to hear about the way these stories were developed and about how all these black creators came in and gave something to the character and to his world that is still there today. Which is very important, of course, because yeah, they were talking about how the characters don't talk like that, like they supposed to. Like people don't specifically know what they're talking about. Most of them, I mean, it does feel from the early comics because I did read during my Fantastic Four read through. I did read the first issue where Black Panther showed up, and they were talking about how he was almost as a villain in the story. And yeah, and then Fantastic Four kind of like crossed paths with him several times, and the stories were always written obviously by white people, by people who don't necessarily understand, like who don't necessarily, realize that Africa is not just one place.
Yeah.
That there are different countries, different languages, different cultures, very different like styles and everything, and different people. Because shockingly, you can tell from the way a person looks which part of Africa they are likely from, and obviously that you can't see that in the comics.
Uh-huh.
it's it's never there. And they used to even draw black characters like similar to white characters, only like with a different skin color, which was bizarre. Like Storm, for the longest time, she looked like a white woman, uh, and she still has had the hair
Yeah.
and the eyes. Uh, so yeah, there is that. It's really, yeah, it was quite educational. It did make me want to read more about like more of Black Panther stories. Go back to the time when Black Panther and Storm were married, because they are one of my favorite couples, by the way. And I know that people think that either they don't fit together or like they were mismanaged by the writing team, which I agree with the second part. Uh, I don't think that they don't belong together. That's a whole other story. Not ready to unpack this yet. Mm, but yeah, made me want to go back and reread all the stories that I have read, read the stories that I have not read, just delve into deep into this world of Wakanda. So this is gonna be exciting.
Yeah.
And aren't we supposed to be getting like God, aren't we supposed to be getting a game that
Oh
is
yeah, yeah. That supposedly it was this year. I have my doubts about that we'll get it. I think it'll
yeah,
probably be next year. That's the
or never.
what was it? Rise of Hydra, Black whatever.
Yeah, it's just
Marvel 1943, Rise
Captain
of Hydra.
America. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just Black Panther was supposed to show up there. Gonna be pretty hard to play him there too.
We shall see. But 60 years, y'all. That's
Yeah.
dope. We love Black Panther around here, so just wanted to kind of commemorate that. Uh, our last little bit of quick news, quick for us, that's quick meaning 10 minutes worth of discussion. Marvel Rivals is cashing in on Avengers Doomsday. Um, which I mean, I'm not even mad. Honestly, not mad about it at all. Get that money, Marvel Rivals. Maybe y'all can rehire some of the devs y'all let go of once the game started. But they're doing an Avengers Doomsday. What do you call it? It's called Path to Doomsday. What I like about it is It's been so long since we saw that little. You remember we used to watch the Marvel Studios? They put out their slate.
Timeline.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
look. I miss those days. I'm just gonna be honest. I miss the
Well, can you
days
imagine what
of
its roadmap is gonna look like these days?
what's say it again.
Can you imagine what this roadmap is gonna look like
Oh
these
yeah, yeah.
days?
Well, it's
And with everything canceled and not so much stuff coming out, it's I guess I
yeah,
understand
it's
why it's
they you know
been
they it's so
canceled.
many twists and turns and dead ends and everything like that. It's not really a
Hmm.
roadmap so much as just a legend of where they've been. That said, I did kind of love this you know path to or road to doomsday or something like that. I thought it was that being said, I don't really know shit about it. I don't play the game.
Well, jokes on me because I don't know a shit ton about it either. All I've seen is this announcement, and they said that like there's gonna be new maps, new heroes, stuff like that, everything new. But what I got out from it is I need more money because they're gonna like try to cash in on everything, every costume you could possibly imagine, every like campaigns. They have all kinds of like raffles and mini
Hmm.
passes and battle passes, and it's all gonna be there.
They're gonna
It's gonna
microtransact.
be
They're gonna
yeah.
microtransact you
Well,
into debt.
to be fair, the game is free. They give you a lot of free stuff. It's only fair that when I can, I would support it. Because I play it, I enjoy it. It doesn't cost me a dime. Everything I buy is like I choose to buy. It's
Yeah,
only fair.
it's purely
So
cosmetic.
yeah, yeah. It's not pay to win, it's not pay to play even. It's just pay if you want to, and people are paying, and that's the sign of the
It's some of
successful
it.
game.
Some of it is pay to goon. Apparently, I see. I
Well, yeah, occasionally.
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, occasionally, but it's equal opportunity gooning.
Yeah, no, they're making sure everyone that's thirsty can get something to drink for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
And then there are mods. God.
I noticed that basically, and this is to me this is smart. They're doing it every other month, so they're doing a new battle pass, a new
Hmm.
that corresponds to an
Probably
event.
mini pass.
Yeah,
Battle
that
pass is like a season
yeah,
pass.
that's true.
But yeah, they're gonna make money off of it, and they should. They
There,
should because the game again, the game is free. So.
well, there each one of them corresponds to to an Avengers movie. So I'm just curious, like what the first one is in April. What's that? What does that look like for it to correspond to Avengers? Are we going to get Chitauri? Is there going to be a horde mode where you're fighting the Chitauri, like as a team? Is because there's not a lot of PVE in
Yeah, they tried it
they did
once.
yeah
It was Marvel Zombies. It was very popular, and they were talking about returning that mode and bringing it back and giving like different enemies, different maps, stuff like that. They're probably gonna do something like that. They have some PvP modes, like other PvP modes, like 18 versus 18, I think, or something like that.
hmm
They have events on Times Square that's probably going to be included. There's a lot of interesting stuff they can do. I don't think that they're going to do a lot. I'm going to assume that they're going to be just like going to do just enough to remind you of those movies, and kind of like heat up your interest for the next one. And I do like that they have on Times Square, they have these big screens where they constantly roll trailers for the game and for the movies and the shows from Marvel. They showed the teasers for Doomsday there. They showed Daredevil Born Again 2 trailer and stuff like that. It's fun. Wonder Man 2, yeah.
yeah. It's I mean I think it makes a lot of sense as long as they I mean, obviously, it's going to be skins and all the other stuff like that. It's going to,
Of
but
course.
new maps. I think it'll be interesting to see what they do. I'm not going to play any of this, but I do like the look. I don't want to play the game, but I love that it's a draw to people and it's getting people into Marvel comics. That's whatever it takes. It's fine with me. If that if it's in order to get people reinvigorated about the MCU and Marvel content in general, and it takes this game to do it, let's go. So I'm happy. I'm happy for everybody that plays it and that y'all are going to get this content. Y'all just let me know what you think about it when it drops. Um, so that takes us to a little bigger news. The question is, and this question, I don't want to say I'm stealing it, but I am inspired a bit by John Campea. He did a video about is James Gunn, why he thinks that James Gunn is going to leave DC Studios once Paramount takes over. Because look, it's not a done deal yet, but it's pretty close. David Ellison, in fact, just had a meeting with like a lot like the top executives over at Warner Brothers Discovery to sort of talk about his vision for the future and what they're going to be doing going forward. It didn't go over that well. Not even for political reasons, but because look, these executives at these places, they know what the fuck is about to happen. Whenever a studio buys another studio, what happens? They fire people who have the same job, right? Two people have the exact same job. They're only going to keep one of you. So no matter what the hell the Ellisons say about this situation, I'm just going to say probably something like, let me think, because they're two really big studios, you could see as 1,000 plus people fired because of redundancies. Which is why one of the reasons, like, look, I'm not against protectionism when it comes to jobs and whatever, but that's one of the good reasons to not have all this fucking consolidation. Because the amount of output goes down, the amount of jobs goes down. It's going to be a major blow to Hollywood. Like, that many people to be out of work is going to be a major blow to Hollywood. So a lot of these people are just like, just give it to us straight. If you're going to be starting to get rid of people, you need to like be serious and be real about it. Don't just like, but he was like, no, we love stories. And he particularly was like, we love DC Studios and what they're doing. And we want that, we want them to stay on and, do what they're doing. So to our knowledge, publicly acknowledged so far, Ellison likes James Gunn and Peter Safran and what they're doing. I don't know about personally because James Gunn wasn't at the meeting because he's in Atlanta getting ready to deal with Man of Tomorrow, which starts filming in April. All right, but Safran was there. That all the people that need to be there, to hear about what this guy's got to say, and they get no assurances, they get no stability, nothing. It's just like, oh, we love movies and we're gonna make movies and whatever. But as far as we know, DC Studios is pretty safe because Ellison likes what Gunn and Safran are doing and is big on the current DCU. So I'm sorry, all of you Restore the Snyderverse fans, Snyder stands. You're not, as we've been saying, you're not gonna fucking get the Snyderverse back. There's, Ellison hasn't been looking to acquire Warner Brothers Discovery just to make your stupid ass little movies. He don't care about that. For the same reason that Disney did not acquire 20th Century Fox just to get the fucking X-Men for Marvel. They didn't do that. There's more to it than that. That said, Campea thinks he would leave because Peter Safran and James Gunn, they just last year, was it last year? Re-up their contract for another 2 years, which would take them to 2027. And he's like, well, they're not necessarily ideologically, James Gunn and David Ellison are miles apart. Ellison's a Trumper. James Gunn is definitely not. There's a question: would there be any creative interference on the part of the Ellisons to take out some of the more progressive or blatantly liberal stuff that's in James Gunn's writing? Which you have to admit, there's a lot of it, right? He's pretty clear about it. Would they let him continue the way he wants to go forward. And would James Gunn be okay with essentially being the head of a studio, but having someone above him telling him what creatively he can or can't do? You know, there are a lot. There are a bunch of incentives, and to just. And he was saying, well, he has started the DCU off. He can walk away with pride knowing that he gave it a strong start. And so thinking about all that, I don't know if I believe all of that. Like I have more to say, but like, do you think this is on base? Would James Gunn take his ball and go home because the Ellisons are now in charge of, or David Ellison in particular, is now in charge of Paramount, and the potential, well, would be in charge of what WB Discovery, and potentially not being able to work with them in his role as the chief creative officer of Warner Bros. Of DC Studios.
Honestly, I have no idea because, first of all, I don't know what kind of person he is. Would he agree to like be limiting his free speech uh, in order to keep his job? I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea. Would he agree to make changes if he was asked to? Again, no idea. Don't know him personally. Don't know anything about his true values. But this is where we see, if anything. At the same time, I'm not so sure that we understanding the point of it all correctly, because yes, they're buying the company. Yes, the goal is to build the pro-Trump media empire or whatever. I mean, you don't know if anyone else comes into power, they might pivot. These are the people who follow the money.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever pays them better, they're gonna, of course, feed on that. If the DCU in its current state is making money, is making enough money, is they might not touch it. They might not touch it for a while. They might not get around to it. They probably don't even care as much as we do, because we, of course, care about it because it's one of the things that we are interested in. Uh, does he even care about these comic book movies?
Well, as far as making money, hell yeah. I think that,
Well, aside
yeah.
from making money, because they do they even watch these movies? I mean, we don't know if they even seen a single one of these movies. What they do like is seeing like checks and
Mm-hmm.
receipts and stuff like that. And if it works, we might not have a problem with this particular thing. And James Gunn might not have a problem. But it all depends on really what kind of person he is and what kind of people these people are.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know any of them. I am not optimistic about that. But then again, why would I be?
There's
I've
no
seen it
reason.
happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I personally, I think that he's going to try to stick it out. Um, if for no other reason, because yeah, this is his baby. The DCU is James Gunn's baby. And he's put a lot of time and effort into it. I mean, he's literally about to start filming the next Superman movie, Man of Tomorrow, next month. And it's very near and dear to him. It's the greatest career move he's ever made in his life, right? And you can tell, the other thing is, you can tell that James Gunn loves everything that's happening, right? Like, he loves what he's doing. He loves where his career has gotten to him to this point. He loves that DC is what he gets to shape. And so I think he's going to try very hard to be able to work within that regime, and just so he can keep doing DC stuff. You're right. What we don't know him well enough. How far is he willing to go? How much is he willing to put up with? Another question is, how much freedom is Ellison willing to give him? Because right now he and Peter Safran answer to uh, uh, Pam Abdi and I forget the other guy's name, but there's two executives above them they answer to, and those executives answer to Zaslav. So they're basically one level removed from David Zaslav. And once Paramount takes over, there'll be one, the same thing will be they'll be answerable to Ellison through one other layer of executives. And so uh, I would say that Abdi and I forget that again. I'll try to remember the guy's name, but the two of them are really really high on the James Gunn train. You know what I'm saying? They actually really like him. That's my
Well,
impression.
then it depends on how well he
Yeah.
can sell him.
Well, the other thing is Ellison apparently likes what they're doing too. So what I'm getting at is he's got a layer his immediate managers above, the super or whatever executives immediately above him who report directly to the boss. They will go. I feel like they'll go to bat for him and for his vision. They did in the first place. Zaslav has been over the moon about what DC Studios is doing. He has been absolutely
Well,
on
then
board with it.
it's just
Uh,
ironic because criticizing those same people he's friends with, I mean, is it the person has no media literacy at all, or he doesn't watch it, or
don't
he
care.
just views the reactions? Yeah,
All
like I
these
said, we don't know any of this.
rich people. There's some of them have a pathological need for everybody to like them, like Elon Musk. But some of them are just happy to be rich as shit, and they don't care if you get rich if they get rich off of people shit talking them or saying that they love them. They don't care. They
True.
Zaslav is seeing dollars, and to the tune of when this goes through, he can make $800 million off of this based on his. He could be, his net worth could go up $800 million because of this sale. He doesn't give a shit if all of the DC Studios output is fuck David Zaslav. If fuck David Zaslav makes money, he's with it. And I think that we have to look. We've been sounding the alarm bells about the ideological component of this because it's there. But at some level, David Ellison is also pretty happy to take liberal dollars as much as he is conservative dollars. So if he's not gonna fuck with a formula that works, and that is working. That's getting like 2 years ago, everyone was like, "There's no, Marvel, and even Marvel falling off is still better than DC in its best days." And now no one's talking about that because James Gunn and Peter Safran have kind of they've righted the ship. They're putting it in a good direction, and everyone's optimistic about what's about to happen. It would be dumb as hell, so stupid, a huge waste of money and time to get in there and start fucking around with what they're doing and losing this momentum. That's what happened with the DCEU. They lost momentum. They got a couple wins, but they lost momentum and it just kind of fell off. I think Ellison leaves them alone and lets them do whatever. Maybe there'll be some notes, but there's always notes. But I think he's less concerned about going in there and massaging the ideological content of the movies than he is that the movies are out there and people fucking want to see them. It's one of the main reasons to buy Warner Bros. Discovery is DC Studios, and he acknowledges it. It's a huge IP, it's a huge cache of IP, and they'd be dumb to fuck it up. So I think honestly I think he stays. And I've already been like fuck them. Fuck. I'm like DC Studios. I love you guys, but if y'all are owned by these guys, I can't support you. But I'm sure I'm not. I'm just hardline about it. Other people are gonna go check it out, and good on them. So I don't know. We'll see. I think he sticks around though. So that takes us to. Let's talk about our two trailers. First trailer, The Boys, drops an epic trailer for season 5. We saw a teaser trailer already. We're like, man, shit is going down. But they're like, yo, you don't know what you're talking about. This now it's really going down. So Homelander is, or he's doing his Trump impression. He's got his feet kicked up on in the Oval Office on the president's desk, He's the man. He's got all this power. All the supes are on his side, and our poor rebel force, man, they just got their back against the wall. But never fear, Billy Butcher's here. Uh, he's a soup now. We knew that from the previous season, but he's a soup now, and he's just like full steam ahead. Let's get this virus. Let's fuck him up. And Homelander's like, I need to find this other V so I can be immortal and I can basically be a god. And then there's all sorts of other stuff. There's lots of talking shit about conservative stuff in here. I didn't see really any nods towards talking shit about liberals. I'm sure there'll be in there, but a lot of it is just one side is being ridiculous, so ridiculous that if you don't talk about it, you're being weird. Um, I saw David Diggs is in it, which is dope, and he's a soup. He's a Jesus soup, and I'm like, all right, well, fine. But
Black Jesus.
I did look. I was like, oh shit, David Diggs is in this joint. Also, Jared Padalecki is in. So, I forget the other guy's name, but the one other guy that I think he plays is it Castiel or something from Supernatural.
I have never watched that.
So the Supernatural boys are back together. It's not just it's not just the Dean and Sam, but also Castiel. It's really like I love it. I don't think it told us too much about what exactly is going to be going on, but it's pretty clear the stakes are high, and people are going to get exploded as usual. I'm really excited for this season. What do you think about the trailer, though?
Mediocrely excited for this because I see a lot of people. Yes, the characters from Gen V are there.
Yeah,
the characters from the boys, of course, are there. It's gonna be like this is the final season, right? And obviously, yeah, they're gonna fuck up the world, and then they're gonna try to fix it or whatever, or at least try to make it livable, which it obviously isn't, judging from what's going on in the trailer. It's to see where it all goes and how it all resolves, if it's gonna be resolved at all. But yeah, it kind of gets a little more exciting after you watch the trailer.
mm-hmm.
In general, yeah, I'm looking forward to just finding out how it ends.
Exactly.
Pretty much at this point, I'm just waiting for it to end, and I want to know how it ends, and that's why what I'm looking forward to, because so tired of this bloody mess, this depressing state of the world. Because when you read news, you don't necessarily want to see that same thing happening on the screen of a show again and again. But you're gonna have to get it anyway. So yeah,
and
I'm excited.
More importantly,
as I can be.
We need to find out how is Kamiko talking now? Like what happened? Because whatever happened when they got captured, whatever happened there, she can talk now. I'm like, all right, I'm with it. I just want to know why. How this happened? Otherwise, it's like any other boys trailer. Things are gross or explodey and a little quippy, but mostly they're just like, yeah, we're gonna take you on a on a really wild and violent ride. So just get ready. I'm prepared for Homelander to get fucked up because it's coming. It's coming. But also, Soldier Boy is back, and he's like, fine, I'm on your side, and I'm like, man, you know what? I hate you anyway, but like. I don't like you anyway. I want to like you even less now. This also does get me sort of excited for what was it the Vault Rising show, which I'd heard just wrapped filming, so we should be. I must imagine we'll be getting it next year. So very cool. Anyway, good trailer. Ready for it. This is coming up April 4th. No, April 8th. It's coming out, so we'll check that out. We'll talk about it then. And our last thing for today, we're going to talk about the Lanterns trailer that dropped last week. It was, it got leaked actually, and so they just officially released it like a day earlier than they meant to, which is very cool. We've been wondering, what is this going to be? What's Lanterns going to be? Because Green Lanterns, generally speaking, are cosmic police, essentially. They're out in space doing space shit with aliens and stuff, except the human ones, which never seem to fucking go anywhere except on Earth. Like, there's, in the comics, there's like, what, 5, 6 human Green Lanterns? And them motherfuckers just be on Earth all the time. I'm like,
Hey,
which to be fair, it's
excuse me, first sector,
I said most of them.
right there.
I said most of them. Which to be fair, like, you know, they're policing their own backyard. But like y'all got a whole sector. You need to go do other anyway.
There's a lot of shit to clean up on Earth.
Yeah, we're the shithole. You know what do they call it? The Milky Way ghetto.
Milky Way ghetto.
Or the Milky Way ghetto. So the trailer, well, first of all, I got a reaction. If you want to know what I thought in the moment, you know, check that out. I really like the trailer. I was wondering what this was going to be. You didn't see anybody in any uniform, which is, again, fine to me. You didn't see John, you know, you find out John Stewart, he's still in training. The Lantern has chosen him, but he's not ready to have a ring, which is very different than I'm used to Green Lantern
According to the white guy who's training him.
But, you know, in Green Lantern, usually the ring just shows up and be like, you know, you have the ability to overcome great fear. Here you go. Go, you know, get out there and stop crime, stop cosmic crime. And the person's usually like, all right, I guess I guess I got another job now. How much this? No one said how much it pays. I guess I got a job now. But apparently,
do you have to do you get 2 weeks to finish your
No, definitely not. Nope, you definitely don't. Hal Jordan got
okay, you just stop showing up.
Ivan Sword died, and the ring was like, you. And then he was like, sure, I guess.
You were just there.
Sure, I guess so. You're like, you're the nearest one. It's you. But no, John Stewart, you know, Hal Jordan's apparently been a Lantern for a while. John Stewart's new to this shit. He doesn't have a ring yet. And they find themselves in some.
He does it.
They find themselves.
The white guy just doesn't let him wear it.
Yeah, which is, again, I need an explanation for that. He had a lantern. He had an actual. So, what's very interesting to me is that's 2 aspects of the Green Lantern mythos that isn't talked enough about. The fact that Alan Scott was the first Green Lantern. He's the Golden Age. The Golden Age Green Lantern. Hal Jordan is the Silver Age. So Alan Scott, when he was Green Lantern, he had an actual Green Lantern. That's the source of his power that let him fly around and do shit. Versus this ring that Hal Jordan has. But he has an actual lantern. So that suggests the melding of the 2 aspects. Because, you know, DC went out of their way.
Was the lantern a charger for the ring?
Yeah, they did a lot. They've said a lot of things about why Alan Scott had a lantern or whatever. We won't go into it. To
be fair, it's inconvenient to carry it around.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you could just put it on your hip, but whatever. That's. I mean, we're not gonna talk about logistics.
It's heavy. You ever carried a lantern?
But Hal had a ring, so I don't know if he's retiring, he's giving the ring to John Stewart. I don't know. But they find themselves on the set of a Taylor Sheridan TV show, and some shenanigans are going on. You know, they're in Yellowstone, essentially. Some shenanigans are going on that seem like they might be just some local foolishness, but turns out there's probably some cosmic significance to it. And they're trying to figure out what's going on in this small ass town. We did not see any green anything in this. And it pissed people off. Did you? Like, I was just like, mind you, when this trailer dropped, I was at work. I had to work twice that day. So I saw I was like, cool. And I did my reaction to the trailer, and then I went to work. And I come back, and when I finally get off and I'm looking at social media, I'm seeing all this goddamn complaining. And I'm like, what's wrong? Nerds, this is why we got stuffed in the lockers in high school. Like, y'all really be on some bullshit, like, for real. I've been running my mouth. I want to hear what you had to say about the trailer. Then we'll continue about people being salty about this trailer.
Again, same as you. I saw the trailer. I was like, wow, it's fun. And then yeah, then I saw people complaining about the suit and the ring and the everything and whatever. Uh, okay, what I got from it is that there is something is happening. It's very interesting what is happening. I want to know what is happening. The character dynamics seem to work. They have great chemistry. From what I see, they have some kind of a conflict, and this is freaking exciting. It's well, it's something that's kind of happening on Earth. Yeah, we're not probably not gonna be seeing any of the cosmic stuff and cosmic characters and squirrels and such. But this shit is exciting. It looks exciting. I'm all here for it. I'm ready to watch it. I want it to be like the kind of mystery that you would a head scratcher that you would try to guess every week what's gonna happen and who's responsible, who they're looking for, something like that. A good detective story.
Yeah.
Again, I'm ready for it. What the hell did people complain about? I don't know. I
It's
mean,
silly shit.
everything doesn't need to be the way you imagined or the way it's drawn in the comics. It's an alternative version. It's a reimagining, whatever you want it to be. But just stop freaking complaining. You haven't even seen the thing.
Exactly. Well, they like they were like, well, why aren't they like using the Green Lantern to put their suit on? Did y'all watch Superman? I'm just trying to figure out. We watched the same movie, right? They were like, oh, when he was flying, how you at one point you see Hal fly off, and he's just got on his regular clothes, no green aura, anything. He just flies, right? And they're like, that's not the way it is in the. Did we watch Superman? Because not once did I see Guy Gardner flying around with green. He just flew. He was just flying. There's no green aura around him. He was just flying. The only time you saw green is when his constructs came out and started slapping things around. Right? That was in the movie. It is canon that you do not need that shit to fly. But they were like, oh, that doesn't make any sense. Then people showed folks stuff from the damn comics where again, Hal Jordan was flying around with no green aura. The green aura is an affectation that really has come about in the last 20-ish years. Probably within the last 25 years. That's an affectation in the comics that's only really come about then. So if you're new to or you've been only reading Green Lantern since 2004 or 5, yeah, but pre New 52, you might be thinking that it's important. It's not, right? People complaining about the costume. Why? What the you think they should be just have it's just be a skin suit or some shit? I get it.
You know what? If you're complaining about that, you can go back and watch the Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, and then you'll be like, you know what?
There's a lot of green. The costume comes out when he puts on the ring.
And by the way,
go enjoy that.
That Ryan Reynolds one is very much influenced by the Jeff Johns version of it from the mid 2000s. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, y'all, these are stupid. These are stupid things to complain about a shit you ain't really. You're seeing bits of this. You don't know exactly how they're gonna make it happen. But more importantly to me, y'all complain about window dressing when we need to be thinking about what is this story about.
Everybody wants to be a smartass. Everybody wants to be a smartass. Everybody wants to notice something that's wrong and blow it out of proportion.
Yeah. And I just want to remind y'all that Wonder Man just set the bar high as shit. It just did. In terms of narratively speaking, that bar is high, right? That's a story that didn't need a bunch of fucking superhero shit going on. Didn't need a lot of special effects to tell a compelling story about a person with powers. This is by the people. This is by the people that or at least one of the people that created True Detective. It is gonna. People are literally they're trying to make an HBO level detective sort of story. It's trying to make HBO level content for the DCU. It's literally going to be on HBO and HBO Max. So if that's true, they're going to have to lean hard into the narrative. It's going to have to be compelling narratively, and all the pew pew is just kind of like window dressing. And I wish y'all would get the hell over it. Like, it's not going to look exactly the way the comics look because it's an adaptation. No fucking thing that's adapted ever looks exactly like the hell. Watchmen, the movie, is one of the most comic accurate books, and they still did shit differently than they did in the comics because comics are comics and the movies are just trying to distill the story without trying to redo an entire every panel for panel, page. That's all I'm saying. Like, y'all chill. Fortunately, that wasn't a that was the minority. Most people are very excited to see what's going on here. I am too. I just kind of like they've intrigued me, and it doesn't come out till August, so we're probably gonna get at least one more trailer, because that was kind of like a teaser to try to get us ready. In the next few months, we are gonna get a full trailer, and we'll see a little bit more what this is about, what we're what the Green Lanterns are up against, and I am very excited for that. Things are looking up. This year, the 2026 superhero stuff is looking up. TV is saving the day. TV is like Superman right now. It's it's holding up. It's holding up the superhero genre right now because the movies are not very few and they're not the ones pushing everything forward. So I'm really happy to see that they put in much effort, time, and attention to detail into giving us what I think is going to be a great show. So DCU looking really good. All right, so I think that's all of our thoughts on that, which brings us to the end of the show, y'all. I know it's been a couple weeks. A lot of things have come out. A lot of news came out. We're happy to talk about it this week, but you know what? Maybe we missed something. Maybe we said something you didn't like. You want to congratulate us, troll us, whatever the case may be. You know what to do. Get down there to the comment section, leave your thoughts there. And of course, you can always hit us up. supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com, blurred_force1 on Instagram and Thread, and on TikTok. So go check us out there. And while you're doing that, get down there and hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. All the good stuff helps to grow this channel, helps more people to see this podcast and all of the other things we do on Blurred Force 1. Of course, I couldn't do this by myself. Now that she got back from her super important business trip to come hang out with us and tell us all about the comics and how she felt about this news. So, Polly, where can they reach you on social media?
_mixed on Threads, on Tumblr, on Instagram. Hopefully, I need to figure it out, but on Twitch soon, very soon. Listen on YouTube too. What the hell?
Yeah, you guys definitely go and check her and encourage Polly to get it together so we can watch her become the greatest Black Panther in the history of Black Panthers. She's going to challenge M'Baku for the throne.
Just decent.
Or just doesn't die a lot.
M'Baku would break my spine with his pinky finger.
Well,
I ain't even gonna try to go against him.
If you want to be king, you got to go through him. So.
Well then, I won't be king.
But you guys go check her out, show some love, and thanks for joining us. Episode 122 of the Supercast. It's a good time. We'll come back next week. 222. You're not 122. 222. Right.
222.
You guys, if you do numerology, I'm sure that means something. I have no idea.
Great success.
Yeah,
and World War III for some reason, but
Yeah, we're not. I don't even want if I had to tell you what I was thinking about all that shit. I'm so
Don't predict in future.
I'm so no, I'm not gonna predict that. Geopolitics is not my thing, but I'm so American that I'm mad about the wrong things. But I'm mad about how expensive gas is because our president is an idiot. But also a corrupt idiot. So it's just gonna make my life harder, and I don't love that. But also, I should be thinking about how there's a lot of people whose lives are in danger right now because we have a horrible, horrible person in charge. But that's neither here nor there. Next week we're going to talk about more superhero stuff. It'll be a fun time. We got to distract ourselves with bread and circuses, so let's do that. So until then, on that happy note, until then, I've been Mo, your comment extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by my good friend Polly. We'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.